just start off with asking, the sentencing of In Ziting last Friday triggered some uproar from the public.
Yeah.
So was wondering if you have any comments on this case.
Well, I mean, there are strong feelings on the punishment. Women MPs have talked to me as well, and I entirely understand the feelings. My own officers in Home Affairs, men as well as women, have very strong feelings too. And we need to deal with this as a matter of policy. So I've asked my ministry, MHA, to do a review on what penalties should be applied. So the review will have three areas to cover. One, the penalties for such cases in general. Two, the extent to which the educational background and other factors of the offenders, the extent to which these factors should be relevant or should not be relevant, or some of them should be relevant or should not be relevant. And three, the relativity in punishment between this offense and other offenses. For example, how would the punishment here compare with punishment for, say, a simple theft or a spitting offense, and so on. So we've got a proper relativity. We will consult stakeholders on this. And the penalty framework in the end must make sense. And when the review is finalized, I will make a statement in Parliament. On specific to the facts of this case, I would prefer not to comment. I think we need to be careful. I think it's natural when people are unhappy, they look at the courts and the judges. But the judges decide based on what is presented to them. I think courts are not the issue. Courts are independent. When we disagree, the approach should be to look at the legal policy framework, which the government can change, and which is what we will do. And bottom line, I've made this clear many times, the laws here protect the vulnerable, the weak, and of course, women's protections in Singapore are very high. And we have to continue to make sure that is so, both in terms of the penalty framework and the application.
So actually you mentioned that penalties in general will be reviewed, especially, but specifically for this case, what aspect are you looking at? Are you looking at the offense itself of voluntarily causing hurt, or is it the fact that the victim was a woman, or was it the fact that he was of a, she was from NUS dentistry, is of a considerably higher educational background?
Well, I said that it will cover three factors. First, for offenses of this nature, the penalty is actually stiff at present, but we will review that. Secondly, today a set of factors are taken into account in terms of background. We need to review that, whether that continues to be relevant or whether we should change some of it. Third, relativity. I mean, this offense compared with other offenses, how does the penalty stack up? So we need to look at that as well. I don't want to go into details because, these are things that we have to review and ask people as well. And we had done some of this. In fact, we have done quite a lot of it. We have changed the laws, the penalties. But we've got to go back and see whether there are any gaps. And also, we have to look at the framework of how they are applied. What policy, what's a government policy that should be made clear when, for example, the prosecution takes a matter to court?